guys, what's up? Back with a new video, guys. So yesterday we had a good time at the gym. My role was to help out in the first two classes and help in the third class to help Coach Robin. So it was kind of fun. It was no-gi. We did a no-gi, more about controlling the back, and a slight introduction to rear naked choke, just to have the kids understand that they can't be leaving their neck that open. So it's cool to see the progression and the evolution of our of the students and the plans that he set up, and just seeing how what comes through. It's pretty awesome, rewarding obviously, but it's just cool in itself to see change patterns in behavior. So that's all we're really striving for as a coach, right? Instilling behaviors, understanding reactions, creating behaviors, right? That's the name of the game. And gi, we did a comp style class. Yeah, that's right. So sometimes, or most times, our students don't have a lot of rolling time. So less time on the mat means less experience, right? We can be doing technique all day, but we need live testing of the waters. The students need to be in there. Everything works statically, but jiu-jitsu is not in a vacuum. So many dynamic things happen when you're trying to achieve a specific technique. And say we did a technique A, and then the opponent knows, okay, don't react this way, then he never gets it. Okay, he's stuck. And then you eventually learn what's the other thing and whatnot, right, guys? So we're just trying to give them more time on the mats with different positions. So half guard and close guard and standing. So we did those 3 different positions, split off into groups, and every group had one coach, and then it was only one pair at a time. So we were able to pick who we wanted to go together. I try to just go by size first, and then reverse the order, and then mix it up and mash it up. Or if they say they want to go at somebody, or they said, oh, I never get to go against whatever, then yeah, let them go, right? Let them have fun, let them get some action on the mats, where we get to see some of their tendencies and habits, and maybe some of the behaviors that we might need to try to stress or maybe clean up, so that they have more success within those positions. So it's, even though you're not really doing jiu-jitsu when you're coaching, it's pretty fun to spectate it. Even when sometimes I don't go to the gym, it's pretty fun to spectate the jiu-jitsu going on. And even more so as a coach, you get to see like the growth of the people. You can help to instruct them. So it feels good to go to class and just help people out, because I remember a lot of times when I never had any guidance or input. So it's difficult to try to think of how to progress or learn. In the early stages, you don't know how to start to formulate, okay, what is the problem here, or what is the thing. But you can talk with somebody, or talk to the coach or somebody, just work things through. Right? Always be willing to learn. Even in the linguistics, or what is the word, like the word verbiage, whatever verbiage we use, it's not, when they say, oh, is it wrong to do this? It's not necessarily wrong, right? There's maybe better ways to go about things, or different things to take into account for that you're not even aware of, right? So it's always good to try to talk to your coach and ask maybe your coach a question. It doesn't need to be every time after class, but you can definitely do that if you want. But if you're kind of shy, right? Don't be afraid to ask your partner or your friend or your coach for some help, right? Hey, and when we don't know what we don't know, not gonna act like we know it, right? We might have to guide you in the direction of some resources, or there might be somebody else who's not a coach but might know it better, right? There's nothing like, hey, don't listen to him, or that's not coach, not listen to him. Like, you can just take what you want. It doesn't need to be like word for word, bar for bar, like, oh, he taught me how to do this, but maybe something in some way it kind of clicked for you, That's just my little spiel, guys.
We had a good time last night. Cart drove the adults class, yeah. So it's always good to for me, especially. I really enjoy teaching the kids and the beginner level stuff. Cart kind of excels a little bit more as it starts to elevate. So I let him run the adults class. He's better at it. I have less. I'm less dynamic at it than he is. He's good at it. But I'll tell you guys a story, right? So Cart told me a story. I think he was at a party, right? And
The beach barbecue.
yeah, you tell the story. You tell it better than me.
Oh yeah. So guys, I was at the beach, right? And it's one of the reasons why I was talking for 5 minutes on this video, because I don't have identity crisis about the small man, but I guess people only recognize small man as this guy. Okay, so it was at the beach, right? It was my friend's birthday, beach barbecue, and his girlfriend was there, right? Because we all know the girlfriend was there. She was like saying, "Oh yeah, my nickname. Oh, Rudy. I asked my friend who does jiu-jitsu if he knew you, but he didn't know who you were, but he knows who your dad is. He's little man or something like that, yeah?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, he's small man jiu-jitsu." And then I told my dad that because it's just like a running joke, because even one time I went to Cape Coral and then someone's like, "Oh, small man, that's your dad, yeah?" So basically, the joke is it's like a joint thing, but he kind of runs the social media a little bit more than me and the YouTube, so people get the idea that it's just him. But I'm not tripping, man. I told him, you got some clout, man. I'm not gonna be like, oh, that's me too. But I mean, it is me too. But that's kind of cool though when they're like, oh yeah, your dad, he's a legend. They're like saying that. I was like, whoa, they know him and they don't know me. Nah, I'm just kidding. But yeah, guys, just a funny little backstory.
All right, guys. Have a good one. Catch you guys later.